I'm going to be casting on a jumper this evening, and I'm going to see how long it takes me to make. That might come back and bite me on the bum. We'll refer back to this moment if it does bite me on the bum, won't we? This might be one of the quickest projects I have ever knit. This is now when things are going to slow down. I'll be completely honest. It might be nonsensical. It might be a stupid mistake. I've not touched my jumper in a while. We need to have a jumper update. Not really touched it in a while, I won't lie. Story of my life. Story of my life is, oh, this seems complicated. Let's do that at some point in the distant future, and then I come to do it and it's not complicated. Hey everyone, it's Hannah and today is New Year's Eve. Not for you, but it is for me. I'm going to be casting on a jumper this evening and I'm going to see how long it takes me to make. A little caveat, I am a mother to an 18-month-old toddler. I own my own business. It's a yarn dyeing business. I have a yarn, and I also make hand-beaded stitch markers. I have a yarn show coming up in March. And so a lot of time from now is going to be spent making stock for that yarn show, because I don't do many yarn shows, which means that I sell all my stock after said yarn shows, and then I have to build it up from nothing again. But I've heard great things about the Doppio sweater. I've heard great things. So I want to cast one on. The goal was to cast this on my birthday, and that didn't happen, which is mid-September. That didn't happen. So I've got these 3 skeins of yarn, which I'm going to be holding together, and it uses big old chunky needles. So I'm hoping it might be quite a quick knit. We shall see. So all of this yarn is from Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co. Selene is a gorgeous yarn dyer. She's fantastic at pastels, along with like very subtle variegation, as opposed to the yarn that I dye, which is a bit more heavily variegated. And she is based in Norway. I was going to say she's beautiful. She's a beautiful Norwegian dyer, but she isn't Norwegian. She is British, but she lives in Norway with her family. I've got these 3 beautiful skeins of yarn. This is Selene. This and these 2 are both Dreamy of Candy Unicorns. These 2 are on her 100% Superwash Merino base. This is an old base that she doesn't stock anymore, and this is her new base. So this is her high fantasy base, and this is 72% mohair, 28% silk, her magical mohair base. And I'll be holding all 3 together to make this jumper. I've already swatched. Like I said, I was meant to cast this on back in September, and I was going to vlog the experience then. So I have already swatched this. I got gauged with the recommended needle size, so I've already got yarn caked up and ready to go. And so yes, I'm excited to cast this on. I think this is going to be a really beautiful, subtle, in terms of colour, jumper. And yeah, I'm jazzed. I'm really jazzed. I'm very much a product knitter over a process knitter, and that has its flaws, because I'm also quite a slow and distracted knitter, and I spend far too much time on my phone. Another goal that I would like to correct in 2026. No, the goal I don't want to correct. I want to set the goal to correct that in 2026. And I just work quite a lot. Hopefully, once I've cast this on, it should grow quite quickly, and then I'll be able to pick it up and put it down a bit more. But casting it on always requires a little bit of concentration, especially when you've not looked at the pattern much before. I'll be casting it on this evening whilst we watch the new Glass Onion thing on Netflix. That's how we're spending our New Year's Eve. I'm excited. I'm excited. New jumper cast on time. So I'm just literally knitting the first round. You've just seen me pop all the stitch markers in. We're doing short rows already. New increase to me, right lifted increase and left lifted increase. I think I have done them before, actually, thinking about it. I've got a soprano knits pattern that's definitely got them in, but I don't remember how to do them at all. So I love this pattern so far. Is great because it has links to tutorials in the pattern. There's a technique section and she's linked a Very Pink Knits video. Shout out Very Pink Knits. I genuinely don't know how I would learn to knit without the power of YouTube. Imagine if I was reading a pattern and it said left, right, lifted increase. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. I can't Google it because in this hypothetical world, Google's not been invented yet. A few decades ago. Hey, let's just say I was my mum learning to knit. How did she learn these things? How did she? Anyway, we're doing German short rows. I do know how to do them. That one I do know. I'm learning new techniques. How fun. I won't continually update you like this throughout the video. But we've got a chunk of short rows done. My increases. My lifted increases. We've learnt how to do purl lifted increases, both the right and the left side, and just normal lifted increases, like the knit ones, both the right and the left side. So that's very exciting. A different kind of increase for me. Usually on a raglan jumper, it's make one left, make one right. But I like how it looks. I like how it looks. And this, you're not going to be able to tell. This fabric is beautiful. It's going to be so cozy. The mohair is so soft, and I'm jazzed. I'm really jazzed. Obviously I was meant to cast this on my birthday in September and wanted to have it for Christmas, but that's obviously not going to happen. I've still got a bit more short row shaping to do, but I'm going to pop this away for now and I'll whip it back out later whilst I'm watching a film. I had a few minutes this afternoon to work on it. Half an hour. Probably a bit longer, but beautiful. Beautiful. I'm taking the risk with this jumper to not alternate skeins. I've got more of this yarn upstairs. I've not caked it up yet. Usually with hand-dyed yarn, I'm like, alternate skeins, alternate skeins. But I'm hoping, because it's marled and it's 3 strands held together, I'm hoping I can get away with not alternating skeins. At least till I'm further down on the body or further down into the yarn. That might come back and bite me on the bum. We'll refer back to this moment if it does bite me on the bum, won't we? Good morning, Happy New Year. It is the 1st of January. The pickle's been poorly. We were watching the new, it's Knives Out. I kept saying Glass Onion. We were watching the new Knives Out called Wake Up Dead Man. Very good. Much preferred it to Glass Onion. I really, really enjoyed it actually. It was a little bit obvious who done it, but I love a murder mystery, so yes, loved it. With half an hour to go, the pickle woke up and wasn't very well, so I've been just trapped under a baby while she snuggles and naps, and that's a delightful morning, truth be told. We've not had a contact nap in months, so it's actually been quite nice, but it does mean I've not done an awful lot of knitting this morning, which is fine. Mary's just taken her out for a bit of fresh air because the Calpol's kicked in, so she's much better. Or improved, I should say. But she's eating and drinking, so that's always a good sign. This is how it's looking. This is the fabric we've got. Can we see? That's probably the best shot because it's pale colours. It's just going to get blown out if I do this, but it's so beautiful and delicate. Not my usual colour palette. Usually I like a rich jewel tone, but these colours just caught my eye, so we're rolling with it. And they look so pretty and work so well together. I have finished the short rows. I'm now just going round and round. I messed up the increases on one of the sleeves at some point. I added an extra one when I shouldn't have done. So I've just skipped that first round of increases on one of the sleeves. So now we're all lined up and yeah, just in raglan increases. I'm thinking I might, it tells you to cast on using a 16-inch cord. I might switch to my 24 because it's getting a bit bunchy. I might switch to the slightly larger one. I'll do that on the next round because the next round is just knitting. But these yarns work so beautifully together. It's just very subtle, it's very nice, and yeah, so far really enjoying it. Very much so. It seems to be quite a quick knit. My concern is that it's going to pill quite a lot because it's quite big stitches, but we shall see. And if it does, it does. Mohair pills a lot anyway, so that's fine. It's one of those things. But I think it's going to get a lot of wear because, yeah, it's nice. Now I've got different increases on the increase rows, so I need to keep tabs on which increase rows I'm doing. So I just thought I'd sit and knit a few rows, not too many, before the pickle comes back and causes chaos. Once I've split the sleeves and body, then it'll be smooth sailing because I'll just be able to knit around and around and around. But I have a little bit to go before then, so yes. Good progress. Good progress. Good morning. It's the 3rd of January. I'm wearing this jumper again. We're going to be going out for a walk. So I thought I'd dress warmly. But I thought I'd show you the progress on my jumper. This might be one of the quickest garment projects I have ever knit. I haven't been working on it obsessively. I managed to get a fair amount done on New Year's Day because the pickle was poorly. So I didn't really go anywhere or do an awful lot. But I didn't do much yesterday. I just knit it whilst watching Traitors. Also, we've started Stranger Things from the beginning. No spoilers, please. We've only watched up until halfway through season 2, back when it came out. So we've started it again. So I'm on series 1, episode 2. We thought we would. But I've already split for sleeves. So this is very exciting. So now I've just got to knit round and round and round the body, which is great because I have car knitting to do. So that is what I'll be doing today in the car. It looks beautiful. I love how it looks. I think the fabric is stunning and yeah, I'm jazzed. I thought I'd give you an update. I will be knitting this in the car today and then it can stay in the car because it will not be coming on a walk with me. It's going to be far too cold to do anything. I genuinely might get this finished this month, which is unheard of for me. Hello, I'm in the conservatory because I'm bead weaving. Here is what I'm making right now. Boop. And Mario and the pickle weren't meant to be here, but it has snowed. Beautiful, hence the extremely toasty jumper. Apparently, US ski team, apparently this is from the 2002 Utah Winter Olympics. Fun. Anyway, that's not what I'm here for. Jumper update. I thought I'd show you a jumper update. This is now when things are going to slow down. I'll be completely honest because I have quite a lot of bead weaving to do. But that's fine because this is all in one video. So you'll see me finish the jumper. I just might not finish it for a while. I've been knitting this quite obsessively whilst watching Traitors and also Stranger Things. Although last night I was bead weaving instead. But we're getting through the body. I've decided not to put the false seam in. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. This yarn is so beautiful. I'm trying not to brush it on the table so it doesn't mess up my Can we focus? Yes. Look how beautiful. Look how beautiful this colour combination is. Stunning. Stunning. I am knitting the body. I don't know if I should have knit a bigger size. I haven't measured myself in a while, I'll be honest. I haven't measured myself in a while, since having a baby. And my body shape has changed. But I just kind of went off the size that I would have normally worn. Figuring it might block a little bit bigger. So I'm knitting the 42-inch bust, and maybe I should have gone bigger, but that's fine. I think it's going to be okay. It says like a 2 to 5 inch positive ease, and I might have an inch, but I think it will block out a bit. So we're rolling with it. It's fine. It won't be too small, but it might just not be the same fit as the pattern dictated or was hoping for. But I'm knitting down the side. I'm not doing the faux seam. I think that's fine. And I've done one lot of decreases, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 7 more rows until I do the next decreases, and then that's it, decreases. And then, yeah, it knits up. It's a quick knit. It's a quick knit. I gave you all of the info. Today is the 5th. Today is the 5th of January, and I only knit this a little bit yesterday because I forgot to bring my book down. I need to finish said book because it's only out on a 7-day loan from the library. Stressful, but yes, beautiful. This is so beautiful. Thrilled with this. Right, I'm going to get back to bead weaving and stop distracting me, goodness sake. Quick check-in, because I probably should go and get the pickle. This is a terrible angle. I've just finished one ball of yarn. My Dreamy of Candy Unicorns, I've just noticed, I've got to the end. Clearly the meterage on this one isn't as long as Selene's new High Fantasy, is that what it's called? Base. So I'm going to have to do some more yarn caking. Let me show you how much I have left of the other oh, not much. Not much. This is how much mohair I have. This is how much this one I have. I've managed to get a good chunk knit. I don't know whether to transfer them onto a slightly longer needle and then make a start on the sleeves. So then I know how much I have left for length. I might do that. I might cake up the other yarn, put this on a larger cable because I prefer a shorter cable to knit my sleeves. And I knit my sleeves magic loop and knit my sleeves, and then I know how much yarn I have left to see how long I can make it. That's the best way of doing that, I think. Because the designer said knit it to this length, and then she mentions that she's 5'1". I'm not 5'1". I don't particularly want this to be a cropped jumper, but if it has to be, then it has to be. But if I can avoid that, that would be great. I'd basically like one this size. So, yeah. I managed to get loads out of that first 3 balls. But the pickle's just waking up from her nap, so we'll have to wait on caking up the yarn for another day. Hello, it's now the 13th of January. I've not touched my jumper in a while. Partly because I cast on a toddler jumper for my friend's little boy who's turning 2 at the end of the month. Kind of need to get that done. Also, because I really needed to cake up some more yarn and I've been putting off doing it. So I'm doing it now so I can start the sleeves of my Doppio. Right. I have an electric winder, so it's not that much manual labour from me anymore. It was expensive, it was worth the investment for me. I know it's not worth the investment for everyone, and that is absolutely fine. For one, I can kind of justify it as a business expense. Right, I have transferred that onto a different cable so I can use this oh my gosh, hit me in the face, this cable to knit my sleeves. Good. I don't have like fancy needle stoppers to put on the end of my cables, so what I do is I just put a massive needle on the end, which does weigh my project down a fair amount, but does stop all the things coming off. I might have a bit of a loopy stitch between where those join, because I was casting on a new yarn as well as switching cables, so I might just have to weave stuff in. I don't know whether to just start the new yarn instead of using up the very end. I might do that. Start the new yarn to do the sleeves, and then yeah, I'll do that, except for this one, which I will cut off. Does that nonsensical? Should I just cut them all off? I'll do it anyway. It might be nonsensical. It might be a stupid mistake. But that's fine. Right, I need to have a look and see what the pattern calls for, because I'm not just knitting round and round and round anymore. I always choose to knit my sleeves on magic loop, and I don't know why. And I do know why. It's because I don't really like using tiny circulars. How I hold my needles, you might have seen by this video, but how I hold my needle with the yarn is it sits in the crook of my thumb like this. And so I knit like this. Do I? No, like this. Like this. Hang on, I've forgotten how I knit. Yeah, that feels right. That feels right. I've just lost my magic loop. It's there, I think. Yeah, so I knit like this. And so if I have a tiny circular, the needle itself isn't long enough, so it can't sit in the crook of my thumb. Which is just irritating and uncomfortable. Other people hold their needles like this and knit like this. I do not. I knit like this. It's a very old-fashioned style of knitting, I believe. It's how I was taught to knit. It's how my mum taught me to knit. It's how my grandma taught me to knit. So it's just how I was taught to knit. And yeah, so magic loop works for me. And I found that you just have to pull that first stitch when you adjust your needles. You just got to pull it a little bit tighter than you do normally. And then I don't get a seam. And if I do get a seam, it blocks out. But for the most part, I don't get a seam. So yeah, right. I need to pick up some stitches. I hate picking up stitches. Hello. I've just popped a string around the bottom of my jumper. We need to have a jumper update because it's now the 10th of February. I've not really touched it in a while, I won't lie. But I've knit one sleeve, but I need to try it on and see where we're at. So I've just threaded a string round. The jingle jangles of the knitting needles. I've just threaded a string round so I can fit it on my torso without hopefully dropping many stitches, because the designer's 5'1". I am 5'7". I actually think we're good to start the cuff. I think that's actually quite a good length. I'm really bloated today, but that's good. I think I can start the cuff and then knit the other sleeve, and then I can see how much yarn I have left at the bottom. How exciting. I put off trying it on for so long, but this was worthwhile doing. Try on your knits. Try them on. So I can't remember when I last spoke to you, but I've not touched the jumper in a while because I needed to try it on and I couldn't be bothered. I also knit a toddler jumper and 2 pairs of sailor slippers
as well as bead weaving for East Anglia Yarn Festival. So that is what I have been doing instead of working on this. Now I've tried it on, that's good. I knit quite a lot of the sleeve through a couple of dagger heart sessions, which was good. Managed to get quite a lot done. Sleeve knitting is just so easy. You just kind of have to keep track of your stitches as you go. Or your rows, I should say, so you know when to decrease. And yeah, part of me wishes that I'd knit one size up, but at the same time, I think this will be fine. I now just have to put the needles back on the bottom and do the cuff of my sleeve. Look up what I need to do, because I actually have no idea, because I've not looked at this pattern in so long, like a ridiculously long time. I've just measured. I mean, it's fine. It's worked out. I need to double check how many stitches I have. But I meant to knit until I've got 15.5 inches from my underarm. I'm at 18, which, I mean, it works out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I have enough stitches. I've done the right amount of decreases. I just apparently don't have gauge. The gauge is much bigger. That's fine. We're just rolling with it at this rate. We're just rolling with it. 2 inches of ribbing. Hopefully it doesn't stretch too much with blocking. We've got 2 non-superwash yarns, so it might do. What a fun experiment that will be. Thinking about it, when I originally swatched this, it was back in September. But I didn't know if my gauge, I didn't think my gauge would change in that amount of time, but I guess we'll find out. Right, we're switching to significantly smaller needles now to knit the ribbing. They're so dinky. 4.5 mil, so dinky. It's the 25th of March. I haven't worked on this jumper in a really long time, and it's because I overthought what turns out is a really simple process. This jumper calls for a folded neckband, and I'd never done one before, and in the pattern it's like, don't cast off too tightly, and I just completely freaked out about it for no reason whatsoever. So East Anglia Yarn Festival's happened. I'm meant to be having Hannah's Day of Fun, but we're having Hannah's Day of Light Work and also making time for some knitting, and I've got too much yarn getting all tangled up all together. But I have, let's not do that. I have cast off the neck of my jumper loosely, and then I'm folding it and sewing it down. That way I can unpick it if I need to. Seemed like a smart decision. So far, I'm only this much in. Seems to be going well. So I don't know why I put it off for so long. It's not hard. It's the story of my life. The story of my life is, this seems complicated. Let's do that at some point in the distant future. And then I come to do it and it's not complicated. Why did I put it off for so long? Also, my friend had a baby, so I wanted to make something for a new baby, which is also why this went on the back burner a little bit. But it's mainly because I panicked about the folded neckband, which I didn't need to. This is not a great angle. I just awkwardly tried it on over my head. And I think it's good. It's still got some stretch. So, success. Do that thing you've been putting off for months. Because, hey, might not be as difficult as you built it up to be in your head. mainly a note to myself of all of the things I need to do. Yeah. Advent trials. Advent trials is the thing that I'm currently putting off because I'm overthinking it in my head. Hopefully that one is easier than making it seem. Literally, I was like, oh no, that's going to take me ages to do. And I have to go get the pickle in a minute. And actually, it's not taking me ages to do. It's taking me very little time to do. Under an hour. So, as in, not just sewing it, as in, I had 2 rows left to knit and I had to sew it. So, that all in took under an hour. Not bad. So now I can crack on with the body and make it as long as I hopefully can / want to, depending on yarn usage, and then we'll be done. This jumper that I thought will be a very quick knit has turned into quite a long knit. Entirely my own fault. Not because the pattern takes a long time, but because I was working on other projects. And you know what? That's okay. That's absolutely okay. In a different time, I could have challenged myself to see how quickly I could knit this jumper, but we are not in those times anymore.
Right, I filmed a podcast yesterday and got my jumper out for the first time in almost a month. And said, the reason that I've not been doing it is because I need to measure against another jumper, which was the Trilogy Sweater by This Bird Knits. Now I got that jumper out and I measured them against each other. And I don't think I don't know. I don't think that's the right jumper to measure against because the yoke's a lot longer. So instead I've brought down my Nightshade Society sweater, which I've worn a lot recently. And I'm going to measure it against this one instead. It's slightly more cropped, so I'm probably already there, if not past it. And then I need to do 2 inches of rib on the Doppio. So I think I'm basically at the rib, which is very exciting because I've been really dragging my feet with it and I'm very much ready for it to be done. It's now April. I could have had this done in 2 weeks. Not 4 months. Perfect. I'm not going to do it now because my child is due to wake up from a nap. Who knows? Any time in the next half an hour or so. So I'm not going to do it right now. But I am going to switch to smaller needles this evening and start the rib. I could have this jumper finished this evening. That'll be very exciting. Please excuse the chest of drawers. The house on the corner near where my mum and dad lived had put them outside and said free. So we picked them up and we took them. We brought them all the way back to Nottingham and we're going to put them in the pickles room. We're going to give them a paint, put them in the pickles room. We just need to take them upstairs. We just haven't cleared space for them yet, so that's fine. Anyway, rambly explanation. Obviously, the Nightshade Society sweater is a bit wider than my Doppio, a bit more oversized, / maybe I knit a bigger size because I was bigger at that point. I don't know. But, yes, I'm going to knit the rib and then block it, and I think it will be a good fit. It might be slightly cropped, but I think that will also work. And here is the finished jumper in all of its blocked glory. I love it. It's lovely. It's wonderful. I finished it just in time for a heat wave and for spring. Therefore, I won't be keeping this on too long. I'll keep this outro short and sweet. I really enjoyed this pattern. I learned new skills in terms of a rolled neck. Not as scary as I thought it was going to be, which is always nice. And this yarn combo, absolutely beautiful. Selene has such good, if you love a pastel, subtle, if you think I don't like variegated yarn, I hate heavily variegated yarn, I hear you, I get you, don't you worry. I love heavily variegated yarn, and that's fine because I'm not you. But if you're not such a fan, but you want a little bit, if you don't want just like a plain colour because you want a bit of something, Selene does absolutely gorgeous subtle pastel colourways. I highly recommend. Once again, the yarn that I used was Dreaming Me of Candy Unicorns. I used that on her High Fantasy base, which is 100% superwash merino, and her Magical Mohair base, which I believe is 74% mohair, 26% silk. And then I used a strand of Selene, which was also on her Magical Mohair, but no, High Fantasy base. And yeah, I used 2 skeins of 4-ply and 2 skeins of mohair. So it's quite a good, I want to say stash busting, I guess, project in terms of if you have bought a few like odds and ends skeins, like you've bought 2 skeins of this and 2 skeins of that, and you're like, don't really know what to do with them. If they go together and you get a mohair that kind of brings them together, this is the project. I haven't sorted my sleeves out. I've just chucked it on because I will not be wearing this long term. It is warm. Things I would change. I would probably knit this a little bit longer next time. It's a little cropped. It's not too bad. It's blocked out quite well. I thought it was going to be tighter than it is, but it's, like I say, I blocked it quite, not liberally. I didn't stretch it loads, but I did stretch it a bit to try and get a bit more ease. Because I didn't measure myself before I cast on. I just kind of picked a size. It was like, that one will do. And I was bigger than I realised. I have since lost some weight since I cast on. So it fits better now than it would have done had I finished when I thought I was going to. I had this video planned to post back in February. Laughable. I do think it would be fun in the future to challenge myself to try and knit this as quickly as possible and see how quickly I can get it done, because I do think it would actually be a really quick knit. I just don't commit as much time to knitting as other people can, and that's absolutely fine. Knitting is not a race. But now I'm posting a jumper of me knitting a nice snuggly mohair, or a video of me knitting a nice snuggly mohair jumper in June. It's well planned, isn't it? No one's going to watch this. So I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. You could start your own now, couldn't you, really? And then you'll have it done. You'll have it done for autumn when you actually want to wear it. Super, super soft, super enjoyable. The yarn is gorgeous. It's just kind of subtle colourway, and I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks really, really good. I've got a dropped missed stitch there. That's the annoying thing about holding yarn together. Yeah, I think this is going to get loads of wear. It's very different from other jumpers I have in my wardrobe, actually, surprisingly. I tend to wear a lot of darker colours and tend to knit more darker colours. And the other fluffy jumper that I have is warm tones, interestingly. Kind of brown. I wear it a lot in autumn. Kind of browns and golds and cream. This one's a bit more silvery. I like it. I love a cool tone. Do I want to cast on another one? Yes, I do, actually. Quite a lot. With this yarn, this is, sorry, my phone's on loud because my toddler's at nursery. That yarn is the yarn I would use. And then where's the mohair? I dyed up for it. I dyed up some dark purple suri. Here's a skein of it. I don't know where the rest of it's gone. No, it's not. That's mohair. That's mohair. That's not suri. Well, I don't know where it is. I dyed up some dark purple suri to go with this, which I think will look really nice. So I want to make one out of that. And also more through the Wardrobe Yarn Co. Not sponsored, just Bezzy Mates. And yes, so this, oh gosh, I want to use this. Through the Wardrobe Yarn Co. No Mourners, No Funerals in Dystopian DK. Held with Agatha Mohair Silk Castleview yarns. I think them together will be really nice because you can do one strand of DK and one strand of this instead of 2 strands of 4-ply and 1 strand of fluff. So that'll be really nice. Goes really well. Be a very different vibes, which is great and actually what I want. So yes, I do want to cast on another one. Thank you for asking. It's very polite of you. And maybe I will. You can't stop me. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this knitting vlog. Please let me know. Leave me a comment down below. Do you have a project that you thought would be quite quick and then it ended up taking you months? Or are you just a super fast knitter / someone who's very good at committing time to knitting? I'm terrible. I flip between projects quite a lot, and also I doom scroll way too much. I'm trying to stop that now. I'm improving. I found audiobooks, therefore doom scrolling has lessened, which is great. So yes, let me know. If you'd like to follow me on social media, links can all be found in the description box below, and I will also link to the pattern if you're interested. I don't know if it's just on Ravelry or not, but I will pop a link in the description box below as well if you would like to cast on your own, and also I will link to Selene's website. So thank you for watching, thank you for being here, thank you for being amazing, and I will catch you all very soon in my next video. Bye.